According to numbers that were calculated by the group Climate Power and shared exclusively with Common Dreams, Big Oil has pumped more than $200 million into efforts to kill climate action in just the last 18 months. $200 million in 18 months just to make sure that we don't get things like investments in renewable energy, which we actually did get this week thanks to a deal between Schumer and Manchin. Well, we still have a couple Democrats that we've got to get on board with it, but getting Manchin on board was a big deal. So kudos to Manchin for finally doing the right thing. Even if it is a watered down bill, it doesn't go as far as we needed. At this point, we got to count every victory as an actual victory. It's not good enough. It's still got some handouts to Big Oil, but it's better than nothing. And sometimes that's the best you can get. But anyway, $200 million, and of course, 80% of the industry's campaign donations went to Republicans. So 20% went to Democrats, right? That's also pretty bad. 20% of $200 million is still, $40 million spent lobbying Democrats and of course giving direct campaign donations. Here's the problem with these numbers. We can't fight that, right? There is no organization on the left. There is no organization fighting for climate that has that kind of money. We're outgunned at every possible turn in our fight to protect the environment, to protect human life and human health. We are up against, I don't want to use David versus Goliath because this is even bigger than Goliath, but we're up against these insurmountable odds, these people, these oil industry, companies that have seemingly endless money. The profit margin, by the way, is about $3 billion per day is what these companies are pulling in combined. $3 billion in profit a day. But they don't always win. And that is, of course, the silver lining here. Yes, we're up against these behemoths. Yes, we're up against unlimited corporate money, but we're not always losing. As we continue to see the effects of climate change right in our own backyards, whether it's floods, which we've seen this week, wildfires, which we've seen this week, other extreme weather events that we've seen this week, all of those things combined start to wake more and more people up. In fact, as I always point out, the only place where there's actual disagreement about whether or not we should take action on climate change is in Congress. You ask anybody in this country, Republican, Democrat, or what have you, majority of them all say, yes, we should be doing more to protect the environment. Yes, we should be investing in renewable energy. Like I said, the only disagreements that exist are in the halls of Congress. We're actually all united on this. United against an industry that is spending $200 million every 18 months. But they're not always winning. We're getting some victories here. They may be small. We may feel that they don't do enough. The numbers show us they don't do enough. But we're getting small victories here and there, which of course is always better than getting absolutely nothing. So they can spend all the money they want, but the tide is shifting, both literally and metaphorically. And as that tide continues to shift, more and more people are demanding action, and it's becoming too big for Congress to even look at these financial numbers and still ignore it. That's the best part of this. Despite all that money, some people in Congress that have the power to do this are still saying enough is enough. It's time to take action. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.